I open chat and I just see milkshakes. Thank you, Dakota. God damn it. What a way to introduce stream. All right. Milkshakes, apparently. Chat, let me know what your favorite milkshake flavor is. God damn it. But hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another stream. And as you can see by the title, we are going to be reacting to the College Football 25 trailer because not only did they release a trailer, but EA Sports has also put out a blog post that shares a lot of stuff about, gameplay news and everything. And I'm going to be reacting and share my insight on it because I have done a past stream about College Football 25, my pros and cons, mainly my worries that I'm cautiously optimistic about this game because, if you know anything about me, I love the college football games. One of my favorite pastimes, like I've said on previous streams, is going back home when I was in college and everything, going back home for Thanksgiving, winter break or whatever, coming home and starting up either Road to Glory or a new dynasty with an FCS or low tier school and turn them into a powerhouse and take out Alabama in the national championship, whatever. That was very, very, very fun. So I have quite the history attachment to these college football games. Same thing with college basketball, more or less. And obviously, ever since NCAA football 14, when they were not allowed to make money off the name, image, and likeness, and everything, the games died. But now the games are back, which is great. I love hearing that, but I am cautiously optimistic, though. I'm holding my expectations in check because it is still EA at the end of the day, and with how EA operates with, microtransactions, pay-to-win models, and how EA is more about making as much money as possible instead of making a good product. That's why I'm cautiously optimistic about these games because, game making, EA, 2K, whatever, it was a different time. In 2012, 2013, 2014, the last few college football games out, it was a way different time. There was no, there were still microtransactions, but it wasn't as pay to win as it is now, which with EA is why I'm cautiously optimistic. Now, if it was some other independent studio made a college football game like this, I would be even more hyped, but that's all the answer out the way. Let me share my reserves. Let me react to this trailer live on stream, and then I'll also look at the blog post, and then I'll share more of my thoughts in the moment. So let's look at the trailer first, and then we will see what all happens. So y'all ready? All right, let's do it. Also, I hope the audio on stream sounds good and everything, of course. Not only my audio that you're listening to, but also the trailer audio as well. And hopefully, Google doesn't come for my ass since, copyrighted music and stuff. All right. So 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go. All right, so I'm sorry. I'm going to be pausing because I'm going to be reacting and sharing my thoughts in a moment. So as you can see, it says game engine footage. Not all images appear in-game. Now, obviously, that should come as no surprise because this is a cinematic trailer. They want to, show off the very cinematic views to get you hyped up for the game. Now, that makes sense, and I'm totally fine with that. I am concerned, though, because that is a red flag to me already, because when it's given out a disclaimer that, stuff that you see in this trailer will not appear in-game as it appears, that means they are intentionally hyping stuff up in the trailer to get you to buy it, but it may not appear like that in the game, which basically means you can't sue EA for false advertising. So already, red flags. And the fact that the ESRB rating, as you can see, the first thing they mention is in-game purchases includes random items. And as we know, this game does have a Ultimate Team style, which is also another red flag for me. So within a second of the trailer, I'm already showing out 2 red flags. Howard's Rock, obviously that is Clemson. The lighting does look good, so I will give EA that. Notre Dame. Alright, So you obviously saw a few cinematic intros. You had Florida with them touching the gator. You had Florida State touching the bird. You had LSU touching the beam. You had Notre Dame touching the play like a champion sign. All really, really cool stuff. I'm definitely into that. That definitely adds the immersion rather than just, let's hop into a quick match or, Road to Glory Dynasty mode and then it's immediately kickoff. Like there actually is a cinematic feel to it. So, as much red flags, I do like that small hint of immersion. So, red flags, but also mini W green flag right there. Maybe we do a counter of how many red flags did I note and how many green flags did I note. Okay. So obviously we see more introduction, cinematic stuff. It's playing Welcome to the Jungle. So hopefully Google is not on my ass as far as copyright. Because this should be under free use because I'm not just playing the trailer on stream. I'm reacting and giving my thoughts. So this is for use, Google. Don't sue me. But you obviously heard, Reese Davis on the commentary and everything. Now, I'm also going to talk about it more because he also mentioned the blog post, but there is multiple commentary teams. There is the A side, which is like Reese Davis and Kirk Herbstreit. And then there's another commentary team with like Chris Fowler, David Pollack, and there's one more that I can't remember, which is cool to have different commentary teams because in Madden, they've had the same two people for the last like 8-9 years. And not only have I had the same people, but their commentary hasn't changed. EA's using the same sentences that those two people have recorded for 8-9 years, and they're reusing the newer Maddens. And you wonder why people complain about the same old Madden every year. So it's a good sign that not only have they different commentary teams, right, and it's not just the same people, because that can easily get stale. I love that. I love seeing Home of the 12th Man. I love seeing that crowd environment. I like it. Bevo, we got the mascots. Okay. Like Forest, Wisconsin, the Trojan. Okay. Penn State with the whiteout. Okay. So, obviously we got some crowd reactions. We got Texas A&M with the Home of the 12th Man with them waving the towels. We got actual mascots with Bevo from Texas. We got the whiteout with Penn State. All great signs. So, I definitely like the crowd immersion, the crowd noise aspect for it, where it definitely feels like whatever stadium you go to, the crowd will feel different. Like playing in, Tuscaloosa for Alabama, or as you saw right now with Kyle Field at College Station with Texas A&M, that road environment should feel different than, let's say we play at, Vanderbilt or Eastern Michigan, Coastal Carolina, or Boise State, right? That college environment should feel different based on what stadium you're at. So if EA can get that right, massive W. And it seems like they're already doing it. How the crowd will feel different. Because that's what happens in real life, right? You have stadiums like, the Big House in Ann Arbor, which is one of the biggest stadiums in all of sports. That environment is crazy and can be ridiculously loud. It's packed and everything. Compared to, not to dwell on it, but, Mizzou, my alma mater, where it's not as packed as the Big House in Michigan. So the crowd environment should feel different. All right, so obviously we saw the stiff arm. We saw a little bit of read option with Illinois. We saw a spin move from Florida State, so we got some gameplay elements. Now, I don't want to say it's like a con or red flag because I feel like it was obvious that a lot of the animations we just saw is a lot like EA with Madden. Like, because I feel like that shouldn't be much of a con. Because, like, yeah, no, duh, it's made games by EA, so of course a lot of the gameplay is going to look like Madden because, well, it's the same studio making it. It's not a completely different independent studio, making their own animations. Like, obviously EA is going to use the Frostbite engine and everything. So, that is a problem, right? Because EA's gameplay when it comes to Madden games is not great, right? It feels like the tackling sucks when it comes to EA Madden games. It feels like you're always in a vacuum. You're always getting sucked into an animation where, let's say you're a running back and you're trying to, run up the middle because you see a gap in the middle, right? Like an HB dive or whatever. And while running, you'll see an opening, but there will be whether someone, the defensive line or a linebacker or whatever, will feel like they get teleported and sucked into your body and you'll get tackled. Even though it's a canned animation, that should not happen, right? Right. Like, I should have more control over the offense, and I should not feel like I'm getting sucked into it. If I'm an offensive player, I should feel like I'm not getting sucked into animations and vacuums and black holes just because there's a defender in my proximity, right? So, seeing Madden animations, that's what makes me worried. Obviously, that tackle push felt very Madden-esque, where it just feels like they just tap them and they go down the ground, which, like I said, a lot of stuff I'm seeing that's just like EA and Madden, which leaves me concerned. Um, so, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic about this. Um, I just want to, at the end of the day, goes for EA, but it's, 2K also has the same problem with, their 2K games. That I want to feel like I have control over my player and my player's movements. Like, I shouldn't feel like I'm getting sucked into an animation or my player is going in a certain direction or getting sucked this way because the game is written in the code as predetermined. Yeah, your player is supposed to go this way in the moment. Like I said, I should not feel like I'm getting vacuum sucked into a black hole because it's already written the source code that the defender is there, so it's already predetermined that I'm going to get tackled, right? It's the same thing with, 2K, for instance, how, if I'm a, guard with like 99 speed or whatever, 99 acceleration, I have all the gold Hall of Fame badges to be able to blow by my defender. I should not feel like as I'm blown by my defender, the person that I just blew by a half a second ago, he's able to recover and get back in front of me and cause me to lose the ball or whatever. Because that's not what happens in real life, but it was already predetermined despite me having the attributes, animations, making the right move, being able to blow by him. Despite all that, it was still written in the code that the defender will still be able to get in front of me because it was already predetermined. That's the one thing that I hate about sports games nowadays. Is you feel like you don't have any control over what happens. Instead, it's a coin flip of, okay, I may do everything right. I may have everything right at my disposal, but there's still the RNG chance that something bad happens that I didn't want just because, it's a coin flip. The game developers decide if you get the positive outcome or a negative outcome, which that's when we get to the point of the game doesn't reward user skill anymore. And instead, it's all about who can abuse the AI the most. All right. So that was the trailer. So bring glory home. Pre-order the MVP bundle, College Ball 25 Deluxe Edition. 3-day early access pre-order by July 16th. Of course, they're also promoting Madden as well because EA. You also get 4,600 college football points because, like I said early in the beginning, before we react to the trailer, there is an Ultimate Team in this game, which sucks. If I could make my own college football game, best case scenario, if I could have my dream college football game, Ultimate Team would be nowhere near a game like this. Because that's not fun. That's not why I'm going to play a college football game for a gambling simulator. It's full on pay to win. I'm going for the Dynasty mode. I'm going to the Road to Glory mode. I'm not going for a gambling simulator where it's the definition of pay to win, where I get matched up against an online person. Like, I may not spend tens of thousands of dollars every week to open up packs to have a good team, but in an online setting, I may not do that, but the person I get matched up against does do that. So obviously I'm at a disadvantage, which is annoying. Like, I shouldn't have to constantly give more and more money to keep up with the competition. Hence, pay to win. So if I was making my dream scenario, Ultimate Team would be nowhere near college football because that's not what makes the game fun. That's not why people remember the college football games in the years past and go back to, the old games to this day. It's not because of Ultimate Team. It's because of Road to Glory and, more importantly, Dynasty. So, unfortunately, Ultimate Team is there. There's nothing I can do other than complain and give my red flags about it, but, it is what it is. We just have to accept that. Ultimate Team is here to stay. It's EA, and we just have to accept that EA is going to have that because, well, they're all about making as much money as possible, unfortunately. All right, so let me pause for a second because I want to pull up my blog post. All right, so let's pull up the blog post. Okay, I hope y'all can see that. I just don't want the words to get cut off or anything. Okay. I think that's good. All right. So, let's see. I don't want to read like every single word because we'll be here all day and that's not the point. Because a lot of it is also just marketing talk. College Ball 25 introduces Campus IQ, a suite of features that brings to life the true depth of college football through wide open, fast-paced gameplay through all 134 FBS schools in all areas of the game. So Campus IQ is the, I guess, buzzword that EA is using. It's like Field Sense or Real Player Emotion, 2K, whatever. So that's their buzzword that's causing you to want to buy the game because of their Campus IQ system. Okay. Let's see. What else? Explosive college gameplay. The wide open, fast-paced gameplay Campus IQ delivers in College Ball 25 matches the explosiveness of college ball game days, whether you want to keep it on the ground with Army's flex-bone offense or take it to the skies with USC's air raid. A range of player ratings that fluctuate throughout each game, team tiers, and in-game passing mechanics custom to college gameplay bring a gameplay feel unique to college football. Okay? Wear and tear system. As the hits add up, players wear down with the wear and tear system. Manage your players' health, limit fatigue, assess risk of injury, and avoid on-field mistakes by using strategic substitutions to ensure your players are at their best when it counts the most. Pre-snap recognition. Pre-snap recognition makes the decision behind every snap matter more. Do you trust in your high school seniors or take a risk with your untested freshmen? Read the game and then read your players to make the hard decision when the game is on the line. Then home field advantage. Game-altering home field advantages rally your rivals in college ball's toughest space to play. Test your squad's road game composure and confidence as you play through distractions like screen shake and misplay improvement play art. Yeah. So, reading that, it sounds like they are putting a lot of emphasis in the offense. How, offensive players will feel dominant and you'll have a lot of high-scoring games, which, let's face it, that's what college football is, what makes it fun. So, I like the sound of that. I also like the sound of, what they said here, where it's like on the ground with, Army's flex-bone offense or take the skies with USC's air raid. I like the sound of that because, that is true. And from what we've heard, there is 130-something playbooks based on what team you use, which makes sense because, Army is all about the, ground and pound run offenses. Meanwhile, like USC with Lincoln Riley and when Caleb Williams was there, they were all about passing and, RPOs and very few run plays. So, despite what offense you choose to run, what team you run, the offense should feel different, which I like the sound of that. And then the wear down system, limit fatigue. Obviously, that's, not doing, hurry up offense on every single play, which is nice. Pre-snap recognition makes this very matter. Like, obviously, that's like, audibles. At least that's what I interpret. That's like the audible system. Which, do you trust your high school seniors or take a risk with your untested freshmen? Right? Read the game, then read your players to make the right decision when the game is on the line. Right? So, if we are interpreting that correctly, and that's the audible system, does that mean, like, let's say you have a star, wide receiver who's either junior or senior, he's an upperclassman, and he's going up against an untested freshman corner. Does that mean your high-skill upperclassman will be able to beat the defensive player a lot easier because, he's been playing college football a lot longer, right? And the vice versa, if you have an untested freshman going up against a high-skill senior, do you avoid, giving it to that player because of the exposure and lack of awareness when it comes to college versus high school, right? Is that what that means? That's how I interpret that's what that means. Pre-snap recognition, you recognize, my player is an upperclassman going up against a freshman, or vice versa. My freshman is going up against a senior, so probably don't throw in their direction. Home field advantage, this is what I was talking about when the trailer was on, that, just whatever home environment if you're going on the road, the home team they're playing against, it should feel different. Like, there should be a drastic difference between playing in the Whiteout versus Penn State or in Tuscaloosa with Alabama or Ohio State in the Horseshoe should feel different than playing against, Vanderbilt or Eastern Michigan or FAU, right? Those should feel different. And screen shaking, the moving play art, yeah, that's taken from, I want to say NCAA football. I know it was in NCAA football 13, which was great. And also he's in, the newer Maddens. Fans will be immersed in the most iconic settings, stadiums, traditions of college football, from the big house to the swamp, Tuscaloosa to College Station, and everywhere in between. The sights, sounds, fights, songs, mascots, commentators, unique touches that make up college football games across all 134 FBS universities. Bowl games will come to life. Each team runouts, rivalry rituals, synchronized crowd chants, and loudest meters, as well as game day audio, fight songs, of course, mascots. It feel like home everywhere you look, which is great. And then commentary and broadcast, we also brought this up, that there is different commentary teams based on how important your game is. Like, if you are leading a dynasty mode and your team is one of the top teams in the country and they're going up against Alabama in the college game day, you'll most likely have Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit on the call for that game, which is great. Chase college greatness. This is about dynasty and road to glory. Create a coach and take control of your own college football program. Establish your coaching staff, then work to recruit the best talent either straight from high school or direct from the transfer portal. Coaching archetypes and skill trees empower you to run your program your own way as you vie for a spot in the new 12-team college football playoff, or create your own college football program with customized to on the Team Builder website. Great. And then Road to Glory, which is my bread and butter. Personally, I enjoy making a player and take him to a school and then build him up to a Heisman and NFL caliber player. That's what I personally love to do more than anything. So, Road to Glory. Live the life of a student athlete with your creative player and take home the Heisman as you build an unforgettable college football legacy. Manage your weekly schedule, GPA, and your image. I assume image is all about NIL. So maybe you're able to get, sponsorships and be endorsed by certain companies, which, if so, that'll be cool. Earn coach trust to get more playing time, or use the transfer portal to get the time and glory you deserve. Interesting. Manage your weekly schedule, GPA. So yeah, that's, I want to say, a system from NCAA football 10 or 11. It was the one with Tim Tebow on the cover, where if you went to class and your GPA was great, you were able to, be in good academic standing, you were able to play. But if you missed classes enough times and you didn't go to class and you were under, I want to say, a 2.0 GPA, you were academically ineligible and you were not able to play until you went to classes and you got your GPA up, and then you were able to get playing time again, which was great. Right. So that's a great little detail that I do like to hear the sound of. College Ball Ultimate Team. Unfortunately, build your dream team in College Ball Stars and Legends. Play solo challenges or H2H head-to-head seasons to upgrade your squad and take on the toughest contests. Test your skills against cross-console, so there is cross-play, and more competitive formats like College Ball Ultimate Team Champs and Champs Gauntlet. Unfortunately, College Ball Ultimate Team exists. Right. I mean, I already said my red flags. I already said my cons. If my dream scenario, I wouldn't have an Ultimate Team at all in college football, because that's not why you're playing the game. That's not why you're going to the game. If you want to play Ultimate Team, just go to Madden. It's made by EA as well, right? I don't want Ultimate Team to taint the good thing we have going, which is Dynasty and Road to Glory. Which, that's my concern with Ultimate Team being in College Football 25. Is, will EA put more focus in the Ultimate Team, because that gives them more money, and that's what they put their priority in, when that's not why people are going to play these games. It's because of Ultimate Team. So, that's my worry. Fans can pre-order the copy of EA Sports Club 25 in and now MP bundle with College Football 25 and Man 25 with 3-day early access. EA Play get a 10-hour, yeah, okay. So that was a solid trailer. I mean, I said a lot of stuff that, in the moment I want to talk about. Now, pageantry and traditions, and it's, kind of goes into the whole, hand in hand of a wish list, something that I would love to see. Dream scenario if they were able to get this to happen. Because I feel like this would add another sense of immersion in Dynasty, Road to Glory, but especially Dynasty, is, obviously college football is all about the rivalries. You have, the Iron Bowl with Alabama Auburn. You have the game with Ohio State Michigan. You have Georgia Tech. You have Florida State. You have LSU A&M, right? You have USC UCLA. You have all these big rivalries with a ton of history. Now, obviously, there is going to be rivalry games in Dynasty or Road to Glory, depending on which one you choose. Now, that's not what I'm asking for is rivalry games, because obviously I want those. But my dream scenario, just to add another sense of immersion, is make the rivalry games unique and update them in the moment. Like, for instance, if we take a look at the game, for instance, with Ohio State Michigan. Ohio State, for the 2000s, early 2010s, would dog walk Michigan. And that dynasty was owned by Ohio State, right? Well, as of the last 3-4 years, their rivalry's kind of turned on its head a little bit, and now Michigan is, the man in charge when it comes to that Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. So the reason I bring that up is make the rivalries feel like actual rivalries and make them feel special. So what I mean is, in your rivalry game, if you have beaten your rival, your big rival, right, and it's been a couple games, in a row for a streak, each game preceding that, you get a boost to your offensive defense after. It's not the big or anything, but you get a boost lean into that rivalry game because, well, you have the positive momentum. You've beaten your rival the last few years, so you obviously should have the momentum going into the game the very next year. And on the flip side, if you're the team that has lost the last few years, you're on a losing streak, you have negative momentum, your attributes should go down for the rivalry because, well, you're on a losing streak with the rivalry. So it adds a lot more weight to the rivalries because it's not just, another week, another game. Okay, it's now week 12, now it's rivalry week, and you just progress the game as normal. No, it should actually feel something different because it's rivalry week. Because that's what happens in the college football season already in real life, right? Rivalry week, it carries a lot more weight lean up to that than just a normal basic, week 6 in, the college football season. Rivalry week actually means something. So to add another sense of immersion, your stats go up or down based on if you are feeling good about rivalry week, how you beat your rival the last few years, you have positive momentum, you're feeling good, versus you are in the negative a little bit because you need to get back into the win column. So you have that extra sense of pressure, right? So I feel like that is something that I would love to see. Best case scenario, I don't know if EA would do something like that. Mainly because, we're about 2 weeks away from, 2 weeks, 2 months, because it comes out in July. We're about 2 months away from the game from coming out, I think. So I don't know if they haven't added that game, they have time to add something like that. But I just feel like that would be really, really cool if we got something like that. So let's see. Is there anything else I would like to say? So yeah, I would say overall, now that we, read the blog post, now that we watched the trailer and everything, we reacted to it, and we shared a lot of our thoughts in the moment and everything, I would still say that I'm cautiously optimistic about this. I would say if I had to give a rating, probably I'd say it's about a 6.5 out of 10 for hype level for me when it comes to the college football game. Um, I'm intrigued about buying it. I'm intrigued about streaming it when it comes out and everything. Um, but it's all about I'm cautiously optimistic because it is EA and hearing that Ultimate Team is in the game, and I'm worried about if Madden is gonna have so much of a factor where it feels like there's canned animations, everything. Those are my worries. But I'm cautiously optimistic, right? Where I actually care about an EA product a little bit, where I actually pay attention to release date and everything, because I've not bought Madden the last few years because I just don't care. I feel like it's just a waste of money and everything. Um, so I'm cautiously optimistic, but it's the thing of show me what you got. EA, college ball games have not been around in over a decade. This is something that people have been begging for years. And now that it's finally coming in 2 months, show me what you got. People don't trust the EA brand the last few years, so bring some public